On the line with us right now, we've got Fred Schneider. Hello, Fred. How you doing?
Hey, Fred.
How are you?
Good, Fred. Okay, so now who are you calling in for, Fred?
Noah Brody and Dan Marshall, my two nutty friends in Orlando.
Now, what's his name again? Mel?
Noah Brody.
Noah. Okay, that's Noah. And Brody?
Well, that's his last name.
Okay, B-R-O-D. Okay,
I.E.
Okay, Noah Brody, and then Fred Schneider. Let's see if we can figure out what Fred is.
Is it Schneider or Schneider?
The Fred Schneider.
Fred Schneider, okay. Anybody want to guess? Does anyone know what Fred's famous for?
I know Schneider.
Do you own
The pretzel company Schneider's of Hanover.
If I did, I wouldn't be calling in for a free trip.
Are you a comedian?
Well, some people say so.
God Almighty? Are you really the guy? Are you the guy from the B-52s?
Yeah.
Just so you know, I knew it. And I didn't want to bust him out first time. But and
man.
we've talked to him before, and you guys are fantastic, man. Fred, you're a legend, man.
Fred!
Well, I'll be back there next year, so you could just see the legend in person.
I've actually seen you guys.
I got to tell you, we've talked to everybody from like Morgan Freeman to what's that other guy in Rounders, Ed Norton, all these guys, and I am super excited to talk to you.
I hope Morgan Freeman didn't call in because he's a bigger celebrity.
No,
I would argue that. You're a new wave music legend, dude.
I could not be a bigger fan of the B-52s, man.
Well, thank you.
Hey, Fred, let me ask you.
Dang, that's so cool.
I got to tell you, the first time I saw the B-52s, and maybe you remember this, or maybe you don't, I don't know, but it was in Orlando, and it was at the Tangerine Bowl at the time.
Opening for The Who.
Yes.
Oh, my God, you remembered that.
Tell everybody what happened, because I felt so bad for the B-52s.
Well, Joan Jett went on before us, and there were a bunch of drunk bikers up front. We saw them staggering into the stadium. We thought, oh, this is a good sign. And so she started getting pelted before we even went on. So we said, uh-oh, get ready. So basically we sang and ducked for about 30 minutes, and then we just said, thanks, you've been great, and left.
It was, oh my God, they were throwing stuff. I mean, because they wanted to see the Who, and I felt bad for you guys. I remember you did Rock Lobster, and then you were out.
Yeah, Cindy got hit in the stomach with an apple. I mean, real classy bikers.
Bikers travel with apples.
Healthy bikers.
Yeah, really, yeah.
Hey, Fred, do you miss the day, when MTV was big? I mean, the B-52s were huge. And do you miss the days when videos were that important?
No.
No?
Because I hated doing them.
Did you really?
Really?
Well, they took like 40 hours to make, and you'd have to pretend you were awake for them. I like the music. I mean, I like to, get on stage and perform.
Well, Love Shack video was just,
it was great.
Look, I got to tell you, the Rome video was awesome. But man, Fred, the great thing about new technology is going to YouTube. And for people who couldn't be there in the late '70s to see the onset of this band that set rock and roll on its heels, because nobody had ever heard of anything like the B-52s. It was completely experimental, it seemed. Your guitar player only had like 2 or 3 strings on his guitar, and there's just so many odd things. What led you 4 people from Georgia, for Christ's sakes, into making music like the B-52s did?
Well, actually, at the beginning it was 5 of us. Well, we had nothing better to do. Athens at the time wasn't the music mecca it is today. And I was visiting from Atlanta, and we went to a friend's house after having some drinks at a Chinese restaurant. And he had a band set up downstairs, and so we just jammed on a song called Killer Bees, because at the time they had just arrived from Africa and were in Brazil. Our first song was called Killer Bees, and we thought, well, this is fun. We made it a hobby, and then friends of mine were having a Valentine's party. I said, oh, I'm in a band, which we didn't really have a name or anything. We weren't really a band. And they said, play at our parties. So we did, and after that we started playing parties in Athens and stuff like that.
Where's the 52 come from?
Keith had a dream about a lounge act. Someone with a beehive hairdo was playing a keyboard, and somebody was playing guitar, and they were called the B-52. South of B-52 is a big old beehive hairdo that looks like a nose cone of a jet.
Hey, Fred, now how do you know Noah Brody, the person that you called in for? How do you know them?
Well, actually, they're my good pals, and we have a side project called the Superions, and we have a single out on iTunes called Totally Nude Island. It's sort of like a tiki song on acid.
I'm going to download that immediately.
It's very sensuous, and it's PG-13.
Gotcha. And do the B-52s, do you guys still perform? Are you still together?
Oh, yeah. We have a new CD out.
Yeah, they have a CD out. Funplex, right?
Funplex, yeah.
Yeah, I actually have that CD. Good job, man. It was nice to hear somebody that kept, hear a band that actually maintains the same level of integrity that they've had throughout the years without changing things too much, you know?
Oh, I'm going to start blushing.
No, seriously, Jimmy and I are huge fans of you guys. I think it's not very often that you come across a band, I think, that is completely original. And this morning we were talking about icons, and I would say that, I don't know, I would say like in new wave music or in a band that was doing things different, you guys were icons.
Well, we started out doing what we wanted to do, and it took 5 different personalities to create what we started. And we didn't sit there and say, well, we better write a top 10 hit right now. We just, we did it to entertain ourselves and our friends, and we've always we write songs that we really, really like and believe in, and then hope that our fans are going to like them too.
Hey, Fred, did the B-52s ever tour with anyone that it's just like, oh man, this mix just doesn't work? Like, did you have an opening act that just didn't really work well on the tour?
Well, we had one act once way back in the day, someone who juggled chainsaws. That would have been,
See, that seems
if he had dropped it or it went into the audience.
That seems to fit. I would think you were going to say something like Slayer.
No, actually, we've been pretty lucky. I mean, and we still get to tour with a lot of new bands, and like we toured with Blondie and recently, and the Go-Go's, and I like all those bands.
Why do you think that so many bands that may not be in your genre of music? I mean, I don't think there's very few bands that I can think of that you can mention the B-52s.
Yeah, you can parallel them with.
Yeah, you can compare.
But you can mention the B-52s to any band that plays, whether it's death metal, whether it's regular straight ahead rock and roll, R&B, hip hop. Why do you think everybody seems to have an appreciation for the B-52s for the most part?
Well, I think just because we're so out in left field compared to most music. I mean, what other band would put out a song like Funplex, which is about a crazy mall from hell? I mean...
What was the name of that tiki... what did you say that song
All
was?
Nude Island?
Totally Nude Island.
Totally Nude. That's crazy. That's crazy.
Fred, how often do you get told that when you were young, you look exactly like Scott Weiland from the Stone Temple Pilots?
Really? Or he looked like me?
He looked like you. But I mean, it's uncanny how much you guys look alike.
How handsome he was.
Oh, he is just a shocker of a man.
No, I didn't get that. I used to get a porn star because I used to have a horrible mustache.
Oh yeah, John Holmes.
Yeah. Yeah, we're very similar in a lot of.
Oh yeah. You kill people for drugs?
Fred,
No.
do you still live in Georgia?
No. I'm calling from New York. Actually, when we started out, there was no way to support ourselves living in Georgia, and when we signed with Warner's, we all moved to New York.
Okay, very good.
What year did it became viable to live there, but like REM and Pylon, they just kept the place on the map and made it like the music mecca it is.
Well, what year did you start in Athens?
Well, actually, our first jam session was in 1976.
I was there in 77. Playing the college. I played a place called That Place under the Georgia Hotel. Do you remember it?
Oh, yeah.
That's where I played one time.
That's condos now.
It's condos now.
Isn't everything?
Now, part of this bit that we're doing, this the trip that we're giving away, is you call in for your friend, and we'll put him on this list, and then the celebrity is supposed to sing a little bit of a Christmas carol.
You got a Christmas carol for us?
What Christmas carol would you like to sing, Fred?
Well, let's see. Oh, Holy Night.
Okay,
Go big or don't go.
Let's hear it. Okay.
Oh, holy night, the stars are brightly shining. That's all I know of that.
That's all we need.
That's all we need.
That's all we need.
That's all we need, Fred. Hey, Fred, it was a pleasure talking to you. Right now, I gotta say, Noah Brody is in the lead right now. That is
okay. Well, you know what? Don't take any more calls from celebrities.
I don't think anybody will make quite the impact you have, Fred.
That'll be hard to beat. Fred, have a great holiday, and thanks for taking time to talk to us.
Okay. Well, I'll be down there in I think February. The band's coming down.
We'll look for you, man.
Oh yeah, hey, you guys are welcome to come into the studio and plug your gig.
Yeah,
if you want.
You know, we have a performance studio here in the building, a really nice $1 million facility that would really be great to get you guys on, because I know we could pack that place with a live audience and really drum up some good ticket sales, man, if you're down.
Well, I'll mention it to management.
Very good.
It would be killer. We would love to do that.
All right, Fred. Thanks for taking time, man.
Okay, take care, guys.